Hello guys, so I'm going to talk again about the EU directive, or the weapons directive, specifically about one part. As of this video they have had some discussions and several countries are strictly against it, like Finland, Czechoslovakia, Poland, perhaps some more. Also Sweden has voiced some opposition against it, but our Minister of Interior, Anders Ygeman, is still wrongly informed about what the suggestion for the new weapons directive actually says. He's talking about semi-automatic firearms for hunting purposes and that they should not be affected. So he differentiates between semi-auto firearms for hunting and for sport shooting. Which is totally ridiculous. There's only ergonomic differences, not functional differences. I will repeat word for word what the directive or the suggestion for new directive says about this. I'm just gonna take out my computer because if I turn away from the mic you can't hear me. Anyway, so here's what it says. Some semi-automatic firearms can be easily converted to automatic firearms, thus posing a threat to security. Even in the absence of conversion to category A, certain semi-automatic firearms may be very dangerous when their capacity regarding the number of rounds is high. Such semi-automatic weapons should therefore be banned for civilian use. So what does this actually mean? Well, it means that all box-fed semi-automatic firearms will be banned for civilian use. Civilians will not be able to own them. Let me show you one of the hunting rifles that our Minister of Interior in Sweden is wanting to preserve. We have about 100,000 of these in circulation in Sweden. Let's just check the chamber. It's empty. As you can see, it has a magazine well. I hope you can see it at least. It has a magazine well. And it is a very large caliber for hunting boar and bear and moose and whatever. This will go through, any kind of load for this caliber will go through straight through any of the bulletproof vests that the police in Sweden use, as will almost anything except pistol caliber rounds. Which is a totally different problem, but something that they probably will address as dangerous. Well, they have zero knowledge of ballistics, but that's just another discussion. Anyway, this rifle is usually loaded with a 5-round magazine. So what do the EU propose is a high round magazine count? Well, that's anything above 2 rounds in the magazine and 1 round in the chamber. So this rifle will be banned. This is probably one of the most ordinary rifles, a Browning long track rifle in 9.3 by 62. This is representative of a usual semi-automatic hunting rifle, basically. So what makes this a hunting rifle? Well, according to Swedish law, this is okay because it has the Monte Carlo stock with wood and slightly resembles a traditional hunting rifle, also does not look military. Well, let me pick out a military rifle that's been in service for quite some time, which was used as a model for the Swedish, as was used for the model for the Swedish military rifle M96. This is a military rifle. This is the K98K, German bolt-action military rifle used in the Second World War and other wars. Widely adopted all over the world. The action is copied widely, the Mauser action, for basically all bolt-action rifles. This is a military rifle by definition. So, so what is military? That's a good question. This has a wooden stock with the same comb and the grip and everything, and the wood, yes, wood and metal. If I show this to the Minister of Interior, he would not recognize this as a military rifle, even though it clearly is a military rifle. It has only been used for war. Well, this example anyway. So you can talk about military features. So let me show you a sporting rifle. Try not to make them all fall over here. This is an AR-15, a sporting rifle used for dynamic shooting sports and other things. So what kind of military features does this have that would probably qualify as military features according to current legislators and police? Well, it has a pistol grip. It has a retractable buttstock. It has a handguard that covers the barrel to make the barrel free floating. And it accepts box mags, same as the hunting rifle I showed you earlier. So is this really military features? No, it isn't. A pistol grip, even a power drill, a cordless power drill, or a host of different appliances use a grip like this. This is very, very common in all kinds of products to have a grip, like a glue gun or a stapler or whatever you have. A lot of things has a pistol grip. It's an ergonomic feature. Some people with arthritis or some kind of other disease needs a pistol grip to be able to use a firearm. An actual argument used in Sweden to try to ban pistol grips is that it makes the weapon possible to fire from the hip. Well, this isn't an ergonomic firing position from the hip. You bend it in an awkward angle. If you have an ordinary hunting rifle, you would have this kind of angle, and this is actually more ergonomic to fire from the hip. So it's a really fucking stupid argument. Sorry for the profanity, but it is. It's really stupid. It's only ergonomic mostly for all the good reasons. It makes it easier to take a steady shot. It's just advancements in ergonomics, and being able to store your rifle with a telescoping stock or a folding stock, that's not uniquely military feature in any way. All kinds of things are being able to be folded. The camera I'm using to film this is on a tripod with telescoping legs. That's not a military feature. That's not a military tripod I'm using. It's an ordinary Manfrotto tripod. It's perfectly civilian. This is not military features. This might look scary to some people, but it has the same basic functional principle as the hunting rifle I showed first. It fires one shot per trigger pull. That's it. That's the only feature it has, and that's really important. And that's basically what they're trying to ban. But they're not saying it outright. They're trying to divide and conquer hunters and the sport shooters and whatever else we have by saying the hunters get to keep their rifles. Well, they won't get to keep their rifles. This is a Trojan horse. So this is not more scary than any other rifle. This actually has a smaller caliber, the .223 caliber, than the hunting rifle. The hunting rifle is objectively more dangerous because it has a larger caliber. It would shoot through car doors and whatever. Let me show you a military rifle that you could argue only has military purposes. This is a fully automatic submachine gun. It has two modes of firing: not firing at all and fully automatic firing. So you could perhaps argue that this only has military purposes because it can only fire fully automatic. Well, the Swedish police, this is on a sport shooting license in Sweden. This is only used for target shooting. So obviously the Swedish police who have issued this license feel that this has sporting purposes, a fully automatic submachine gun. So yeah, you could basically argue anything. It only depends on the purpose you choose to give an object. You could perhaps argue that like an RPG launcher, rocket propelled grenade launcher only has military purposes. And I could probably agree with that. It's kind of worthless to try to target practice with grenades. It's going to be expensive, fast, and well, where the heck are you going to do that? So that's basically it. I could perhaps argue that there is some kind of non-military purposes with a belt-fed machine gun. I know people who has belt-fed machine guns and only uses them for sporting purposes. So there really is nothing like that. It depends on what you use it for. In Sweden there are 3 basic uses for firearms. There's hunting, sport shooting and collecting. None of those are killing people you don't like. That's banned, of course, murder is banned. So what should they do with this suggestion in the EU? Well, they should throw it away, it's bullshit. This is made by hoplophobic people who hate firearms for civilian ownership. We don't have an issue in Europe or in Sweden with civilian legal owned firearms. Actually, legal firearms owners are the most, any way you measure a grouping of people, civilian legal firearms owners are those with the lowest rate of crime, any kind of crime. Because if I drive my car too fast 2 times in a row or something, the police are going to take my guns. I'm never going to break a law. So basically that's it. Also Brottsförebyggande rådet in Sweden, the Swedish government agency who keeps track of criminal statistics, just recently came out with a new report that says crime with legal firearms are even lower than they were before. Basically, if I remember correctly, it has gone down from 1 or 2 crimes per year with legal owned firearms. And in Sweden we have way over 1 million civilian owned firearms. So if you look proportionally at this, it's basically not a problem. I mean, riding a horse sports are a bigger problem in Sweden. There's actually people dying from that. And some people are injuring themselves horribly. But no one is saying that horses should be banned. That would be stupid. Same as with firearms. It's a tool and it depends on how you use it. If you're not crazy, you should be able to own a firearm for legal purposes. And people have basically seen too many Hollywood movies and think firearms are inherently evil. Like this magical thinking that it actually is about the military properties of firearms. Like it carries on some kind of essence from the military life, and like you're gonna go shoot civilians if it has a pistol grip. Or this is really stupid. Grown people should not think like this. It's not logical, it doesn't serve its purpose, and this firearms directive proposal will not do anything against terrorists. It will basically help terrorists because it removes focus from the real problem with illegal guns smuggled into like France or Sweden or wherever, to legal guns and legal gun owners that are indirectly classified as terrorists because we own firearms for sporting or hunting purposes or whatever. It's so stupid. You basically have to be a socialist to come up with this shit. So yeah, that's a small rant from me today. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.